You just plain aren't. So if you raise tax rates on the rich, I will guarantee you're going to get less revenue.
Isn't there something, I saw something else about 5 years ago. I saw a chart that shows that it doesn't matter what we do to the tax rate. You get about 18%.
Yeah,
Is that right?
that's Kurt Hauser's. It's the Hauser curve, which is a flat line, which no matter what taxes you do, you get 18%. It's
Okay,
just
so shoot that full of holes.
It's not. It's right. It's basically
Well,
correct.
then how come we don't ever talk about that? Why?
We talk about it all the time.
I know
in our
you
groups.
talk about it. I mean, but how come? I mean,
because it doesn't fit their ideology, to be honest with you. They want to claim they can get the monies they need from the rich people, from the top 1%. But they can't. They can only get it from this group of people. You know, when you raise the lowest tax rates up, you will get more money. The Southie in Boston who's working on a construction site, he can't defer his income. He can't change the form of his income. He can't change the location.
Is that why we went after the first thing Barack Obama did after saying you won't get your tax raised by a dime, not one penny if you're under 250? First thing he did was go after smokers.
Oh, smokers are easy to get because they're hooked.
Right.
They can't change their behavior. They're addicted. And the same thing with people down in this end. You know, they don't have the opportunities that these other people do.
Well, but didn't Reagan close all the loopholes for these people?
Oh, well, yeah.
77% we've had before, but we had them with tons of loopholes. There's no loopholes now. You pay it.
And when they should. You know, what you want is a low-rate, flat tax on the broadest base.
Yeah. You don't want to pay 77. That's obscene.
No. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. But we lowered the rate to 28%. I mean, can you imagine?
What could we operate on? What could the government really truly operate on that would be shocking enough to?
Yeah.
Did you see this?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. This is the mutually assured economic destruction. This was mutually assured destruction, but they tied all of the economies together. We have to spit ourselves out of this system because all of the economies are going to go down, correct?
Yes, I agree.
So what could we, and I'm getting a rap sign, what could we get a flat tax down to and actually survive that would be something shocking to the rest of the world to spit us out of this?
11% on business net sales and 11% on personal unadjusted gross income, and we would match the total revenues we collect today with no Laffer curve effect, Len. We would match the total revenues
Where
today.
does that start?
That starts at zero.
So people who aren't paying taxes.
Yeah, everyone pays 11% across the board.
That's FICA, that's everything. That covers everything. There's nothing else.
Capital gains, estate tax, FICA, Medicare, Medicaid, includes
you pay one tax.
One tax.
What did you make this year? What did you make this year? Deduct 11%. Yeah. That's it.
And then businesses do the same 11% on their value added. So you have the two 11%ers, and you can match all. Jerry Brown ran on this as a presidential candidate in 1992 and almost took Clinton out. He ran it. The Democrats loved this when Jerry Brown. No, his number was 13% because he wanted to have a little bit of a surplus to pay off the debt. Okay, Art, have a seat. Thank you, back over. Okay, more with Art Laffer, and we're going to bring in Chris Edwards. He's here. He's the he's the director of tax policy studies at the Cato Institute. We're going to look at the budget and show you what's coming this week. Next. We have Art Laffer with us today, and Chris Edwards is here. He's the Director of Tax Policy Studies at Cato Institute and the author of Downsizing the Federal Government. Is this your website, too, Downsizing the Federal Government?
It is, downsizinggovernment.org.
It is a great website.
Thanks,
I didn't know that was yours. Great website. In this, so you know, this week we're going to spend some time talking one topic. Making sure the mutually assured economic destruction doesn't happen. And as all the globe starts to come down and reboot, we want to be a place where everybody rushes and pours their money from the rest of the world. We can be the safe haven. We can turn it around quickly. We just have to be sensible. In your book, you talk about the taxes, and they all seem to be the former Soviet Union countries that all have flat taxes now.
We talk about flat taxes, folks like Art and I, and people say, oh, that's unrealistic. But the reality is there's 25 countries around the world now that have adopted flat taxes. The average rate is 17%. Countries like Russia have done fantastic under a flat tax.
Didn't Georgia get into a flat tax war with Russia. Russia was trying to put Georgia, punish them, and so they had a flat tax and they kept dropping it, and Georgia won.
That's right. All those Eastern European countries are competing against each other to lower their rate. For example, Slovakia cut their flat tax rate to 19%. All the big German corporations like the car companies moved to Slovakia.
Okay.
So
we're talking now about a VAT, which would be crippling on top of everything else, would it not?
It would be.
Yeah, the average VAT rate in Europe is 20%. So think about every time you go to the store, you buy a car, you buy a new piece of furniture, 20% government sales tax on top of everything you buy.
That's federal, by the way. You got state and local
Guys,
as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Who are these economists that think? I mean, I just can't imagine that people actually think these things would work.
I think some economists just believe that if more resources are channeled through the government, somehow that helps society. But I think it profoundly damages society, as we've found over and over.
If they push these things through, they keep spending like this. They do a global carbon tax. We have to pay for the health care bill now. All of these things, additional. How much time, I know you're a sunny, optimistic guy, how much time do you think we have?
Well, things start spiraling out of control. We've got trillion-dollar deficits now under Obama. He plans to run trillion-dollar deficits as far as the eye can see. You can't do that, though, because federal interest costs accelerate faster and faster. So under Obama's current budget, I mean, we pay $200 billion a year in interest now, and he even admits that's going to jump to $800 billion. It's going to quadruple just in 10 years.
And that doesn't count unfunded liabilities, which are just enormous.
We're going to go into that here in just a second. We're just kind of showing you what's coming this week. We'll be right back.
Still on camera.
All this week, we're going to tackle the federal budget. Back with me now, Chris Edwards of the Cato Institute, Art Laffer, former Reagan economic advisor. And guys, we only have a few seconds here, so I just want to go over this and correct me where I'm wrong. The problem we have right now is from here to here, nothing can be touched. Correct?
No, we can reform entitlements. But
yes. But
we will have to.
Yes, we have to.
Yes.
But generally speaking, you need an act of Congress to do.
Yeah,
to do
it's much more difficult.
Okay. So, and this at 7%, we are currently at the lowest interest rate we've had.
And even Obama says that's going up to 15%, that slice. That
15.
slice is doubling in size in 10 years under Obama.
So we are here in 10 years without even the interest rate going up.
That's right.
We're up to here. The interest rate, if they were as high when you got into office with Ronald Reagan, it would probably be this much.
It would go up, if we had 10% interest rates, it would go up to 30%. 1/3 of the budget will be interest.
No. When we came into office, the prime interest rate was 21.5%. Just so you remember.
Right.
I know you guys weren't around because you're so young, but it was 21.5%. Can you imagine the U.S. economy?
Well, what would happen?
It would be around this twice.
We'll be back in just a second. Tomorrow, we're going to roll up our sleeves and begin. We're going to cut health care. Right now, Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security are 40% of our budget. They're going away. It's going to be ugly, a lot of crying, but America needs a cure. And don't confuse the truth with hatred. By the way, use truth as your anvil, as Gandhi said, nonviolence as your hammer. And anything that doesn't stand the test, when brought to the anvil of truth and hammered with nonviolence, reject it. We'll see you tomorrow from New York. Good night, America.